All right. I wanted to talk about this comment that I made last week, and we got a clip that we're gonna play so I could explain what I meant by the comment. But last week when we was talking about the Black Sam interview, I said something about I was cool with both of them, Nipsey and Big U. But when they had their clash, you had to pick a side. Now, I wasn't saying that I specifically picked the side, but everybody assumed I picked the side and I must have picked the Big U side. Never did I pick a side. What I meant by that was if you're from over there, if you were in that section, which I'm not from, you pick the side. And I want to play a clip to where this actually came from. It is I interviewed Jermaine Williams, who is Loose Cannon's identical twin brother, and he talked about how Loose Cannon ended up picking the side. At that time, he was in Big U's camp. And that's, I guess he did a song with Nip and then ended up hanging out with Big U and picked the side. And that's where this thing comes from. So I interviewed Jermaine Williams, the identical twin of Loose Cannon. And this is what he had to say about what was going on back then. You found out about Nip getting shot before your brother did?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
And then you called him up and told him?
Yeah. See what I'm getting, because I talked to my cousin. My cousin has what she said. She said she talked to her baby daddy Nip 30 minutes before he got shot.
You talking about China?
China.
Okay.
She has that. She said it was on a podcast or interview. So you should be able to look that up. And I guess that's where my brother got that story from.
Okay. And I also know that your brother didn't even have Nipsey's phone number at that time. Mm-hmm. Now, they may have done a song together back in 2011, I think that was.
Yeah.
Which would have been
Bringing California Back, yeah.
Bringing California Back, which was like 8 years before. Mm-hmm. But in 2019, according to Gigi, and then according to Spider, they weren't even in communications with each other. Or do you know of any sort of connection between your brother and Nipsey in 2019?
No, I mean, the thing is, it was an issue in the hood. So people had to pick sides on if they was going to go on one side or the other side. He chose the other side. So they didn't have no communication like that because of the side that he chose.
And he chose, I think this is all public. Everyone's talked about it. You talking about when Nip and Big U got into it in 2011 over there at the parking lot.
It was hood business.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hood business, but everybody already done covered it. And at that time, your brother was cool with Big U. Mm-hmm. And that means that he wasn't communicating. Okay, so this whole thing about taking a side, it comes from this interview I did with Jermaine. So when I said you had to take a side, you know, he was schooling me on people took sides. Alex Alonso never took a side in this situation because I'm not from over there. I didn't grow up over there. It wasn't my choice. And I'm not even sure if everybody from the section took a side, but obviously there were sides being taken. And that's all. That was the only point I was trying to make.
I tend to agree with you. I know there was some division amongst the issue, but I think it was people that sat it out as well.
Yeah. And I think, Munchie, you made a comment about kicking him when he was down, literally, and people completely twisted the meaning that you wanted people to gather from that statement, and they made it seem like you was present during the assault against Draco because you said kicking him when he's down, but I knew you meant the figure of speech, kicking someone when they're down.
Right.
You know, so nah, I never took a side in that at all. I'm not from over there. I'm not from that section. And let me just before we move on, I just want to also stress and articulate: me and Nipsey never had a physical fight ever. Nipsey never touched me. He never hit me. He never punched me. I certainly never got a wedgie or whatever else people are saying that Nipsey did to me. That never happened at all. In fact, I've had a picture of Nipsey hanging up on this wall for many years. In fact, hey, Safir, do me a favor. Grab that, grab that for me real quick. You know, I've had this hanging up over here for, on and off for years.
I've been wondering what happened to it.
And, I had about 200 copies of this thing. And I used to keep it on that. Remember that table I used to have in here?
Most certainly do.
Okay, I had that table. I used to keep copies of this on the table and give them away of this of this final call with Nipsey on the cover. And then when it started getting low, when it got down to about 20, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop giving these away. So I probably have maybe 15 of these final calls with Nipsey on them that I cherish. You know, I'm not doing anything with the last ones that I have, and I even got the signed. Remember his DVD or CD that he was selling for $100. I don't know what year that was, but I ended up getting a signed copy of that from Nip. So, I had no hate for Nip. There's nothing negative between me and Nip. We had one interaction that you can say was negative. It lasted 30 seconds, and then that was it. It was over and done with. And that's all I really got to say on that.
Rest in peace to the homie, neighborhood Nip.